welcome to Let's Talk to Sports Pro Football Show. And um, for those that don't follow us on YouTube, this is the first show that we've done in a while. On YouTube, we've uploaded a couple videos since then, but this is our first show, Dwayne, in a while. Actually, since the end of last season.
Listen,
We
man.
usually have some interesting stuff going on during our football season, and
Listen, man. I can't get the smile off my face, man. And I just got home, man, and I realized that in New York today, they're giving me a double header at 1 o'clock. I get to watch the Eagles and the Lions on Fox and the Raven Jets on CBS.
yeah, yeah. So Dwayne, usually most people that been messing with us the last 2 years with our football shows, we usually have a football show in the morning and then at night around 7:30. What happened this morning? Where was we at this morning, Dwayne?
Hey, listen, man. This morning I was at the football field, man. I was in Hillside, New Jersey, out here supporting our beloved Union Rams. Shout out to Rodney Tullis, who's the president of the Rams, man. Like, we got to give people their flowers while they can enjoy them. He's doing a great, great job. A lot of people around where we're from, they try to think that I'm synonymous with the Union Rams. I love the Union Rams. I love Union High School. But credit has to go out to Mr. Rodney Tullis and the leadership that he has for the Union Rams. They got 3 travel tackle teams, 12U, 10U, 9U, and they got 2 flag travels. Man, they got 3 cheer squads. He's doing it real big, and I'm proud of Rodney, proud of the Rams, and I just want our town to get behind them and support them, man. Please.
Yeah, definitely. As I would say, I always call him Hot Rod when I mess with him.
And if I could do a remix real quick, man, we ain't gonna do a full minute, but we're gonna take some seconds real quick to honor those who lost their lives 21 years ago on 9/11. And now it's football time, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm so happy, man. It's back. It's back. I'm happy.
What kind of jersey is that you have on, sir?
This is the Trayvon Diggs. I'm wearing this for my little man Aiden Diggs. Got the white Trayvon Diggs. Put it on, and you heard, y'all know my favorite position to watch is cornerback, and I'm gonna say it right now: the best cornerback in the league. I'm wearing this jersey. Yeah, you heard it. Yeah, I said it. Man had 11 interceptions last year. Put some respect on him.
I think calling him the best cornerback in the league is even debatable in your standard. I know how you feel about the cornerback position. That's actually one of the positions that you watch with a very keen eye.
It's my
And
favorite position.
to get right into it, we saw one of the great cornerbacks get toasted like no other on
They had a rough
Thursday in the
night. They
opener.
had a rough night. But this is the NFL. This isn't a league where they pay for play. They're all great in this league,
You
man.
know, it's funny because I don't know what Stephon Diggs said to him. I don't know. I know that the clip that everybody was showing before the game was what Jalen said about him and giving them respect and so forth and so on. And
Did you see Stephon on the sideline when the camera caught him?
yeah,
He
yeah,
said, I am him.
yeah.
I am
And,
him.
and I was quite surprised because Stephon is not really a talker, as far as bringing attention to himself.
Listen,
So
man, here's why I say to people that they think Trayvon Diggs was a fluke last year, right? Iron sharpens iron. His sibling is one of the best wide receivers in the game. You don't think those two go at it in the offseason? You out your mind.
yeah,
If you don't think those 2 Pro Bowl players are making each other greater.
and he's only been playing cornerback 4 years.
Don't tell them. Don't let them know that.
But
But, man, I'm
anyway,
excited. We're going to get right into these 1 o'clock games,
go
man.
shoot, man.
Saints Falcons.
Well, it's crazy that you said the Saints Falcons first game. I want to go on record right now and saying I think the Saints is the most talented team in the NFL. I think they are loaded. I think if you look at what they got, you got receivers, you got Thomas, you got Juice Landry, you got Olave. And for those that don't understand, is that Olave has it made for a young receiver to come in and learn from a true slot receiver and a true possession receiver. So he's going to learn from the best of both worlds. I'm going to say that the coach has everything possible to succeed. If he could get Jameis to cut down on his mistakes, and this has always been the bugaboo about Jameson, it the Saints is loaded, man. I don't think people understand that they they don't beat Tampa Bay. They destroy Tampa Bay when they play them. And I look for the Saints to continue rolling. I think they're going to be very underrated until about the 6-7 week of the season, and then people going to be put on notice that the Saints come marching in as they love to toot their horn and talk with the Who Dat Nation. I think everybody's going to be shocked with what the Saints got to offer. I think they've been quietly a team that was $22 million over the salary cap going into the offseason, and they made a lot of big signings. Their defense has been stellar the last 3 years. So I look for the Saints to roll over Atlanta, a team that's in rebuild mode.
Yeah, man. You know what? I think everybody's on the Saints now. It's that hot pick, man. I thought they were going to be a sleeper, but as time went on in the preseason, a lot of people jumping on them. I'm very, very excited to see what the Falcons do. Looks like Mariota got the keys to the shop. I know they got the rookie Desmond Ridder, but I think this is the perfect offense for Marcus Mariota. With Arthur Smith, he had a little bit of a history with him when they both were in Tennessee. So I'm very interested to see what Marcus Mariota looks like. I'm very interested to see the progression of who I think, in short order, is going to be the best tight end in football, and Kyle Pitts. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm very interested in this first game, man, to see what it is, man.
Yeah.
Very interested. So then we move on, and we got the battle of second-year quarterbacks coming up, man. You got Trey Lance going into Soldier Field to go up against that man, Justin Fields. So
I think this game is going to be a game coached real close to the vest. I think that Shanahan is going to do what Shanahan does. Understand that he probably has the best and most physical offensive and defensive lines in football. And what I don't think he's going to try to open up the offense. I think from what some of the struggles that we heard about the quarterback Trey Lance going in is that I think that he's going to just run the football, go to his playmakers, go to Ayuk and Debo. Even though Kittle's out, but you got to be very careful of Chicago. I know a lot of Chicago fans are down on what they've done, but me and you have been a big fan of Matt Eberflus for years, and I think that Eberflus is going to be able to put his footprint on that defense quick. Chicago is always known for defense. They got some pass rushers that can get out. I know they lost Khalil Mack, but I'm going to pick the 49ers, but I'm going to say this is going to be a close game, probably a 1-point game or a game by field goal.
Yeah, and the Bears are getting 6.5, man. So that's interesting. Hey, man, listen, if you want to listen to us and make your bets, play at your own risk. Don't come back here in the comments mad at us. We're just telling you what we feel about it. Recapping, I like the Falcons, man, today. We ain't talk about it. They're getting 5.5.
The Falcons?
Yeah, but I like the Falcons outright.
To
upset the Saints today.
Okay?
I think it's going to be the Trey Lance coming out party today, man. I think this kid is going to show who he truly is. I know the line is 6.5, and I'm still going to take the 49ers today. I'm going to take the 49ers to beat the Bears. One thing we all must be mindful of today is there's rain and bad weather all over this country today. So that could affect some of these games. So our next game, it's a dawning of a new era, man. No more Big Ben in Pittsburgh, man. I don't know how the black and yellow feel, man. You don't got Big Ben no more to kick around. Mitch Trubisky is getting the start. He's going up against that cool Joe Burrow. And when is the last time the Bengals was a touchdown favorite over the Steelers?
I will say this, that Dwayne, I was going through the divisions earlier, and I know everybody always talks about how scary the AFC West is. But I sat back and thought about the AFC North, and I was talking about, oh, well, Cleveland, when they get Watson, maybe back, you can't ever count on the Steelers, and then Lamar's back, and then I said, hold up, what about the Super Bowl representative from the AFC, the Bengals? This is one division that I'm gonna say I can't pick who's going to win the division, and I can't pick who's going to lose it. It is scary. Each week when each team in that division plays each other, I don't know who I'm going to win. But for the ones that like to bet, you bet against the Steelers if you want to. The man has never had a losing season. I do think that Cincinnati is going to come out fighting, showing that last year was not a fluke. I think we're finally going to see them expand their offense a little bit. We're running the football, which they didn't do in the Super Bowl. And I think they want to show people that maybe they may be able to protect Burrow a little bit with the lineman that they got number 71.
Oh, 71.
So we'll see. I know he's a former LSU Tiger like Joe Burrow, so I know that he feel like he's his personal protector now. So I'm going to pick Cincinnati by 3.
Listen, man. Last night, a former superstar for the Pittsburgh Steelers, number 26, Le'Veon Bell, absolutely knocked out AP Adrian Peterson last night. So in that vein, I think the Steelers delivered a knockout punch to the Bengals today. I'm taking the Steelers in the points. I'm taking the Steelers outright. Steelers win a battle. These two teams don't like each other. I'm saying Pittsburgh 27, Cincinnati 24. Mitch Trubisky, they do it for Dwayne Haskins. They'll have the number 3 on the back of their helmets today. And in honor of Dwayne Haskins, I think the Steelers go out and get that win today.
And just a second, what you thought? Just a second of what you thought about with the Dwayne Haskins. And we always say it. We always say it with certain teams. The Steelers just do things right.
They do.
They just do things right, and they go about their business right. Shout out to Coach Tomlin. He's always a favorite. I saw a video this week where he was doing the thing with the Nike Air Forces, and he just knows how to relate to these players, no matter who they are, no matter what age they are, no matter what race they are. Coach Tomlin is he's relatable. And, I'll just say that the Steelers fans, as long as he's the head man in charge, you have nothing to worry about.
No. So next, we got everybody's preseason darlings. Them dirty birds from Philly, the Philly Eagles, Philly special, going into Ford Field today and going up against them Lions. Philly is a 5.5-point favorite. They have made the moves to put them at the top of the NFC East, according to all the experts. It's all there. Offensive line, stellar. Defensive line, stellar. Got threats on the outside. Got Miles Sanders running the ball. It all's going to come down to number 1. Or is he wearing number 2? I think he's wearing number 1 this year. It's all going to come down to Jalen Hurts, QB1. I think they get fat on the Lions today. I'll be rooting for the Lions because, as happens every year, I watch Hard Knocks and I fall in love with the players that they showcase. But everybody knows when it's Saturdays, I'm all go blue, University of Michigan. One of our favorite, Aiden Hutchinson, number 97 in the program for the Lions. I think he will get a sack and a half today. Yes, I said a half. I think 1.5 sacks for him. But I think the Eagles will be a little bit too much for the Lions today.
I am in no way an Eagle fan. I am a diehard Cowboy fan like yourself. But I am like you, Dwayne, and like a lot of people don't know, is I root for programs. I root for good coaches. I'm a big Nick Sirianni fan of the Eagles. But my biggest coaching staff, my fun coaching staff, the coaching staff that I appreciate more than anything is the Detroit coaching staff. I believe Detroit is going to win this game for Deuce Staley. I believe that they're going to rally behind their coach. Their defense is going to get some turnovers because the thing on Jalen Hurts is his progression, knowing his progressions within the passing scheme. I think they're going to load up to stop the run and try to make what you do with young quarterbacks do is say, can you go down the field with 12 plays, dinking and dunking without making a mistake? And I think that Detroit is going to pull off an upset. That's not saying that Philly's not going to have a good year. I think that Philly's going to be neck and neck with Dallas towards the end. But I think that this game is a game either you'll see the Eagles blow them out or you'll see Detroit win a close one. But I'm gonna pick Detroit because of Deuce Staley, because of the coaching staff and what I see in their program. If Jared Goff could hold on to the football, they can win. If anybody remember the first 4 games last year, they lost nail biters. And I think that young team learned from the experience, and I'm gonna pick Detroit.
Yeah, and Mark Bunnell now is the leader of that quarterback room, so that's another
Truly
good person.
amazing. The coaching
That's,
staff that Coach Campbell has assembled
yeah,
is amazing.
that's another good person for Jared Goff to lean on. Next up, we got a nice NFC East battle. We got the New England Patriots traveling to Miami to face the Dolphins. Um, Miami is a 3-point favorite in this game. You got Mac Jones, you got Tua, you got Bill Parcells. Excuse the slip. You got Bill Belichick calling the offensive plays. You know, you got Matt Patricia helping them and Joe Judge helping them. That's my boy Abdul's favorite coach, Joe Judge, helping them today.
Classic phone conversation.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This one is a toss-up for me, man. I don't have a feel for who's gonna win this game, man. I'll just go with Mac Jones because
one of the things that Dwayne and myself did for anybody in the chat or anybody that's going to watch the replay of the show is we both picked Miami as the sleeper team 2 years ago, so we know their roster. They are loaded. 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, speed at receiver that we've probably never seen in the NFL with 2 speed guys. And then they have a slot receiver who Dwayne and myself are very familiar with, is Cedric Wilson. But the talk all offseason has been New England's offense. They don't look good in practice. They don't do the well. If you know anything about the coach, this is the time to have bad times in practice to work things out. I am not going to go against Bill Belichick in this game. And the reason why is he is going to do with young quarterbacks. If you look at his history, you can't go against him. He's going to take that passing game away, and he's going to hope that, like I said about the Lions, can Tua have drives of 12 plays or more, dinking and dunking without making a mistake? And that's what Bill's going to do. He's going to take what your number one option, and as it is getting cheated the ball in space, he's going to take that away. So look forward, and it's amazing that all the criticism that the coach has gotten, and all I'm going to say is there's few coaches who me and Dwayne love, high school, pro, and college, and Bill Belichick is one of them. Just, don't bet against him. That's all I'll say, but I'm going to pick the Pats as well.
Okay, next up, you got Lamar Jackson, who turned down a contract extension. So this is a prove it year for him, and he leads his Baltimore Ravens into New York at MetLife Stadium. The Ravens are giving the Jets 6.5. Joe Flacco will be starting for the Jets. Jets took a big loss with the injury of Dwayne Brown, and he's going to miss 4 weeks. They brought him in to replace Mekhi Becton. I say all that to say I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this game. I think the Ravens come into New York / New Jersey, and they get out of there with a double-digit victory.
As much as I would say I would pick the Jets because that is not only my brother's team, his partner team, as well as my brother-in-law's team, I have to pick the Ravens. The Ravens was the one team last year most people don't realize they were decimated with injuries. So with everybody back and with that great that great front office with the way they draft, expect the Ravens to roll.
Quote the Ravens, nevermore. So then you got the Doug Peterson era beginning in Jacksonville. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Washington Commanders. It's the first regular season game as the Commanders, no longer the Redskins, no longer the football team. I was very partial to the football team. I thought that was unique. But you got the Commanders, and the Commanders are a 3-point favorite. They got Carson Wentz, who's on his third team in 3 years, now heading up the Washington attack for Riverboat Ron. I'm picking an upset today. I'm going with Jacksonville to come into the national capital and nation capital and get a win for Doug Peterson in his first game as Jaguars coach.
The only reason why they would call it an upset is because of the way that the bookies gave Washington as the favorite. But this is not going to be an upset. Jacksonville is going to show everybody how good Trevor Lawrence is. Peterson, very, very underrated coach. Got done dirty in Philly because of Carson Wentz. So this is going to be Peterson's players rallying behind the coach, and they're going to do everything in their power to destroy Carson Wentz today. I just don't see it happening. Chase Young is he's not the same, y'all. He's not going to be the same, not going to be there. And I think that the Washington football team, and I'm going to still say that because it's still so easy now, instead of calling them the R word or Commanders. I just think that as much as I like Ron Rivera, is something missing whenever they do things. They brought the running back in there to take over for Gibson. He was leading the way. Then he just got shot. It's something that's wrong with this franchise. What is amazing, I heard a stat yesterday on NFL radio that scared me about Washington. They have not shut a team out in 30 years. So teams score on the Washington football team. But I'm going to pick the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to show everybody Trevor Lawrence is going to do what he do.
Nice. Next up, this is a very interesting game, man. Emotions will be high at the start of the game. Baker Mayfield will be playing against the Cleveland Browns today. Cleveland at Carolina. Carolina right now is a favorite by 1.5 points. I'm gonna want to look at this game very early to see how Baker handles his emotions. Jacoby Brissett, I mean, he's had chances before to be the quarterback of certain teams. We all know the situation with Deshaun. We will not address that here. We know the situation with him missing the first 11 games. So you got Cleveland versus Carolina. And I think Baker Mayfield will have a big game against his old mates. And I like Carolina at home to beat Cleveland.
You know, this is a very, very hard game for me. And the reason why is because everybody's picking Carolina. And you don't know, Baker Mayfield, he's been such a polarizing guy since he's been in the league. You never got a chance to really, really watch him and watch what he does and watch what he's strong in. And one of the things that Baker is strong in is his play action. Carolina has Christian McCaffrey back. And I believe that Matt Rule misses him. I hope Matt Rule does not run him a lot. I hope he just uses him as a weapon. And I think that those Brown players have a lot more pride too. So this is a scary game for me to pick. I'm picking Carolina only because I believe they have the better quarterback right now. I'm not going to take nothing from Jacoby. But what's interesting about Jacoby is he always finds a job. And he's got a lot of skilled players, a lot of good players in Cleveland. So this game should be very interesting. We all know that Matt Rule, his staff, and himself is on notice, which is surprising because we thought that he was going to succeed easier in Carolina. But we're going to both pick the Panthers.
Yeah, the last 1 o'clock game is a 9-game 1 o'clock schedule. The last 1 o'clock game is the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Indianapolis is a 7-point favorite in this game. Indianapolis, in my opinion, have the best running back in football. I know there are some Derrick Henry fans that will disagree with me, but I think Jonathan Taylor, Salem, New Jersey's own, is the best running back, and that's all I need to know about this game. I like Carolina. I like for them to cover that touchdown. Did I say Carolina? I'm sorry. I like the Colts. I like for them to cover that touchdown. I like a big day out of JT. I like the Colts and a laugher.
I'm gonna pick the Colts because they're further along in their program. Um, but I am happy for the one thing with the Texans. Lovey's back,
Yeah,
and I'm
Lovey.
really excited to see that Lovey Smith is back, given another chance. Uh, Super
Contrary
Bowl,
to
Super
contrary,
Bowl,
yeah,
Super Bowl coach who, if you look at his pedigree in the league, he should have never got fired in Chicago, but he's back.
yeah.
Um, but I'm gonna
Contrary
pick
to
the.
what
Go
people
ahead, man.
say, he's not Black Santa. That's Lovey with that gray beard right there.
Yeah,
That's Lovey.
and to watch him back is refreshing because he is like Coach Tomlin, lovable. Players always loved him, never said anything bad. And remember that Lovey was the coach that got Rex Grossman to the Super Bowl.
Yes,
So
yes.
all I would say is, Texan fans, you got to, you're doing all right. Keep looking up. But right now, you just probably running into the best team in the division.
Absolutely. So you got 4 games in the 4 o'clock hour, 4:25. All four of them start at that time, 4:25. Two on Fox, two on CBS. First game is the Brian Dable era begins with the New York Football Giants. They travel to Tennessee to take on Mike Vrabel, Derrick Henry, Tannehill, and that bunch. Tennessee is a 5.5 point favorite. This is a proven year for both number 8 and number 26 for the New York Giants, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. I don't think 5.5 is enough. I think the Tennessee Titans win this game. Um, we'll see. Uh, Giants have a new defense with Mr. Martindale coming from Baltimore to run that Giants defense, so that'll be a 3-4 defense. I don't know if they have the linebackers to play a 3-4 defense. That's just my opinion. But I like Tennessee in the opener.
This is an interesting game for me. And the reason why is because I am a big proponent in keeping some veterans around in your program with a new coaching staff. I know a lot of coaching staffs when they come to teams, they get rid of a lot of veteran players. But I'm one that I understand Blake Martinez. I think Blake Martinez has always been underrated. And I think the Giants getting rid of him with the fact that their young pass rusher is not going to be there. I think Blake was a professional, and I think that they may have cut him a little too fast um, coming back from the ACL. And I think the injury for Tennessee with Harold Landry is big, but they're always well coached. I think Tennessee is going to show people how good they really are because they lost both of their receivers. And they lost Roger Stafford, who Dwayne and myself love as a guard. But I think, as they say, King Henry's back, and they're gonna ride him out. And I look for the Titans, but I want the Giant fans to know that it's no more excuses for Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. We've been giving them excuses for 3 years. The jig is up. I got the Titans as well.
All right, so we're about 6 minutes from the 1 o'clock action kicking off. We got 3 more games to go through. We will go through the Sunday night game at our later show this evening. So next, moving right along, you have the Green Bay Packers traveling into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings are a 2 point favorite right now. Um, I'm gonna go with that man number 12, man. It's hard for me to go against 12, especially with him getting points. I know it's only 2 points, but I like the Packers over the Vikings today.
This is a crazy game. Vikings is like a sexy pick, a little people's dark horse in the division. I'm gonna say this: you don't bet against number 12 in the regular season. For some reason, the last couple of playoffs been real odd. His last 3, 4 playoffs years, but I think Minnesota's gonna get them.
Nope.
I don't know what it is about Minnesota. I do think that Dalvin Cook could be, and I know I'm putting a lot on the running back to do it nowadays. I'm putting Dalvin Cook as my early MVP look. I just think a real big year is going to come from Dalvin Cook.
Well, it'll
I
be
think that,
interesting to see how O'Connell, the new coach, replacing Mike Zimmer.
yeah,
Be interesting to see how he attacks it. I mean, Kirk Cousins, man, he's made a lot of money in this league. He has a lot of weapons, man. A lot of weapons. Jefferson, Thielen, Dalvin Cook. So got a decent tight end. So it'll be interesting, man.
yeah, many.
All right. Next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs going to Arizona, Glendale, to take on the Arizona Cardinals. The Chiefs are a 6.5-point favorite. My favorite rookie this year is going to be number 24 for the Chiefs, Scott Moore, out of Western Michigan University. He's the business, man. I wanted him with a star in his helmet. Unfortunately, he went a couple of picks before that. With all that said, I like Patrick Mahomes with his new crew of receivers. I like them to go into Arizona and get the win. But they don't cover.
With no DeAndre Hopkins, I can't see Arizona beating them. Um, we know one thing. I'll tell anybody that does mess with the fan duels and the betting. Look for the Chiefs to jump out them early. One thing about Andy Reid is his first 30 plays is scripted. They say 15, but his first 30 plays, if you watch Andy Reid, he come out with knockout blows early. So look for the Chiefs to jump on them 14-0 early in the first quarter.
Wow. Okay. So you like the Chiefs today. And the last game for this afternoon, late afternoon, a very, very big matchup for the first game of the year, man. Divisional rivals out there on the left coast. You got the Las Vegas Raiders versus San Diego. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. I still make that mistake, people. I apologize. Old habits die hard. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, Josh McDaniels getting his second chance to be a head coach with the Raiders. You got Brandon Staley, who, if you listen to some people, they think he's on a hot seat only in his second year because some of the decisions he made as a head coach. Last year when he was coaching some of these Charger games, he thought he was playing Madden. The many times he went for it on fourth down. It's a close one, man. I'm going to go with the home team, man. I'm going to go with the Chargers at home, even though SoFi is not a big home field advantage for the Los Angeles Rams either. You saw that? Bills Mafia took over SoFi on Thursday night. But there may be more Raider fans than Charger fans in this game. You know what I mean? That's very possible. But I still like the Chargers nonetheless. I think they win a close one. I think they cover. I think they barely cover. But I like the Chargers.
You know, this is a funny one for me because I do think that Brandon Staley, if he does not get this team to at least 11 wins, it is a coaching malfeasance. I think that the Chargers are loaded. Unfortunately, Jackson won't be playing this game, but I'm gonna call this the Khalil Mack career coming full circle. I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna pick them because I think they're gonna just do what they do. So I'm gonna pick the Chargers as well. It must be late breaking news. Go ahead, Dwayne.
No, listen, I love football, man, but this may not be politically correct. Women come a close second to football, and this Brittany Holmes that's singing the national anthem in Detroit right now, mute me, Q, mute. My goodness, I love America.
With that, great show, Dwayne. We'll be back on tonight between 7 and 7:30.
It's back. Football is back.
So we could
Football.
do the rest of the games. We love to do our shows towards the
Sunday
end of
football.
the 425 games.
Every Sunday to February.
Dwayne and myself, we actually have basically 8 or 9 hour conversation the whole time. But appreciate you guys for joining us. With that, y'all take care and see you guys later.